This call is
Esta
now being
es
recorded.
Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Silas Johnson.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Silas, how are you doing tonight?
I'm all right. Yourself?
Man, I can't complain. I'm here, just relaxing at the house. Did I do any? I don't even think I did any streams today. I just been, I just kind of been lollygagging around the house. So it's been kind of a lazy day for me today.
Yeah, sounds like a good problem to have. I'll take it.
Yeah, any days that I'm able to be at home with the family and relax and hang out. It's always a good day for me.
Yeah, man, that's a blessing. That's a blessing.
I heard you guys had what are those days called today? Like the first Wednesday of the month. You guys have, or the officers have something going on. I forgot what they refer to it as.
Yeah, they refer to it as they call it a down day. So essentially, we're on what they call first watch status. First watch status is from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. So right now, we're on first watch status essentially, where there's no movement, but they still do like medical. I went to school this afternoon, so they did that movement. So and they ran canteen as well, but like regular education, like adult basic education that they have, they don't run that. They don't run vocation. They don't run cognitive behavioral therapy classes in the back. They don't run that. So it's pretty much no yard, no day room, just the kitchen workers, and that's pretty much it.
So pretty much you just have a whole day to yourself and to reflect and just you and your thoughts. And luckily you guys got the tablet, so if you guys want to reach out and speak to somebody, then you have that option too, right?
Oh yeah. People were sleeping late, sleeping all day, probably talking on the phone to their loved ones, or watching movies, or listening to music. Hell, you can even turn on the Calm app and get you some ambient sounds up in here.
Man, hey,
Yeah.
who would have thought, that you would have an app now, to calm you down and have like listen to the ocean or the wind blowing or whatever sounds that it generates.
Yeah. I mean, you have the babbling creek, the forest, the ocean, like you said, like the wind, snow, rain. It's pretty cool. And they have the little display on there, so you not only get the sound, but you get the video as well.
Oh, okay.
Of whatever scene that they have. Like you get to see the rain pouring down and the leaves and all of that stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Nice and calming.
Hey, it's funny because Marlene made a comment the other day that like you're all calm and you're when you speak, and Javi's like all hyped up. So like in your room is nice and calm and peaceful. You got waves, just splashing in the background, and Javi's probably like blasting he probably has a Super 3 blasting the music out loud, trying to run around and connect wires and solder this and solder that, and probably has a CD player broken down, trying to put it together and jumping around from
probably listening to Megadeth over there.
Yeah.
Hey, don't get it twisted. I rock out in here too. I got some some Soundgarden, Queens of the Stone Age, Nirvana, Foo Fighters. I got a little bit of rock up in here too. I'm a little off too, so.
Yeah, I could definitely listen to some Nirvana.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's Gen X material right there.
Oh yeah. I like a whole variety of music. I mean, I prefer like rap and hip hop, but you know, I like to sprinkle in some other type of music, you know, here and there whenever I get tired of listening to you know, creeping on the come up and murdering and you know all that stuff that music was, you know, was good for back in the 90s.
Yeah, it's good for getting you a front row seat to right here. Man.
You're absolutely right about that. Yeah, man. Like, imagine the people that you know now that you know they're sitting in their shower like, fuck, you know, I was listening to the song, I went to do a drive by and now they're reflecting. I'm like, shit, I just got caught
Esta
up.
llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Got myself caught up in the hype and all for what?
Yeah, I think there's a correlation too. There definitely is a correlation. I mean, what you put in is you know, is gonna be what you put out. You know, like whether you're talking about your diet. You know, if you're eating healthy, then your body is, you know, you're gonna be able to perform healthy. You know, your output is gonna be, you know, it's gonna be stronger. You know, if you're eating crap, then you know, your performance is going to be crap. You know, just, you know, if you playing violent video games and, you know, you practicing, you know, killing people, you know, imaginary. I mean, you can only do that so long before you become desensitized to it, and it's not that big of a deal to, you know, conceptualize shooting somebody for real, in my opinion, you know. I think the same thing goes for music and movies. And, I mean, there's self-responsibility, but, I mean, there's also, you know, I think that culture and art can influence.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize it. I think just in general, everything around us, it's designed to think differently. Whether you're listening to the news, you're watching advertisement, or you're at the bus stop and you see a big ass advertisement. It's just we're constantly being bombarded, you know, with advertisements. Whether it's, you know, an ad between YouTube videos or your radio. They got ads all over the place now. You go to the gasoline station, they got screens at the gas pumps, and they got, you know, some advertisement, whether if it's political or they're trying to get you to go inside the gasoline station to buy some car washes. You just can't get away from those type of things.
Yeah, everybody's chasing you. Everybody's selling something nowadays. You know, I mean, everybody has a product. I trip out. Everybody's talking about their brand, and you know, they're not talking about like, you know, like some clothes or something, you know, some tangible item. They're talking about, you know, themselves being, their person being a brand. And I mean, I get it if you have a particular talent, but I mean, you know, it's kind of crazy to see, like, I mean, like Instagram models and whatever, like I see on TV, and it's like, you know, their brand, like your brand is just your, you know, what you look like. I mean, that's not a brand. That's just
Hey, if Kim Kardashian could do it, anybody could do it.
Man, yeah, but well, I don't know. That was a little bit of labor on the front end. It wasn't just all. Come on now, let's be real. Let's be real. I mean, I'm from the porn capital of the world, man, and she put in a little work for that notoriety.
You know, hey, Ray J, you know, Ray J, you know, she has Ray J to, think about that, give thanks to on that one.
Yeah, I mean, they probably still splitting the royalty checks for that. You know, hey.
Hey, but you know what?
Not mad at them, you know.
That's that. Hey, if it's true that that the mom recorded that's a cold setup right there. If the mom really did, put her up to that and hyped her up to do it, and it was behind the camera.
Hey, she got all of them famous with it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm.
Yeah, speaking of relationships.
Hey, that was a good alley oop right there, right?
A good setup. That was a perfect segue right there, man. Yeah. So look, we're gonna christen James and I. We're gonna welcome all the viewers, and tonight we're gonna christen late night hype. You know. And tonight we're gonna be going over modern relationships. And so I was thinking, right? So I've been in prison for 23 years, and obviously the dating landscape has changed tremendously. And I read a lot about online dating, and I've seen way too many reality shows about dating, hooking up, and in the many forms that love can present itself. If you guys didn't know, the divorce rate has been hovering around 50% for years, and it got me questioning, the validity of not only marriage but monogamy itself. And for full disclosure, I'm a happily married man. I ain't trying to get beat up.
Hey, that's right. I was gonna throw that disclaimer in there. But before you say something else, Silas, just want to let you know that Lamar's in here and he's busting up. He put a little laughing emoji.
What's up, bro? But however, I thought we'd engage the listeners and get their perspective on dating, love, and just the very institution of monogamy. We've had a couple conversations, just with the fellas on the yard here, and man, we had a couple entertaining conversations, and I remember, like, probably about maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was stating the case that marriage was an antiquated institution. I was telling, it's outdated. There's no reason for it anymore, and now, I mean, years later, I'm a hypocrite, of course, because I would endorse marriage now. I mean, I think it's cool if you find the right woman, and I mean, I've been blessed enough to find the right woman. But so I was gonna ask you, James. I mean, with dating leading up to marriage, right? How did you find the dating scene leading up to getting married?
Oh man, it was during that time. It was off the chain, man. It was like nonstop. Like it was like.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Man, I was in my 20s, so it was like nonstop. We were going out clubbing a lot, and there was a lot of people out there looking for the same thing. A lot of partying and dating. So, I definitely had a good time. When I was out there, doing that. But I think everybody was on a different page. Some people wanted casual connections. Some people wanted relationships. Some people wanted to get married. So I think it was just all over the place. It's not like where like now you put something up like on
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
On your dating account, like you're looking for a long-term relationship, or you're looking for like there was no filter. You pretty much had to interact with these people to find out exactly where they were at and what they wanted.
Well, that was that perfect. You batting 1,000 tonight, man. That was actually a perfect segue into my next question. Online dating, right? Um, what difference do you see with online dating and just the traditional going to church, a bar, a club, or a gathering, a picnic, and meeting somebody? What's the difference that you see between the two?
You know what? I have no experience. I got zero experience with online dating. Um, so my opinion on that would be limited to say the least. And I'll continue right now when Silas comes back. We were running kind of short on the time, and I went ahead and reinstated the clock so I could keep track of of the seconds and minutes. So I could kind of know when the call is about to be coming to an end. And how's everybody doing out there today? I think this is my first stream of the day. Like I said, I was like, I've been lounging around the house all day today. I was actually supposed to be working on our restroom because we recently had a new we recently had a new sink put in, and when they tore off the old sink, it took off some of the drywall. So I was supposed to patch that up today, but man, I didn't. I don't know.
This call is now being recorded. Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Silas Johnson.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Telling.
Hello, Silas.
Okay.
All right. So, what was your last question, if you recall? Because during that time, waiting for you to call back, I just totally went blank.
So we were talking about the difference. If you perceived any difference between online dating and just the traditional way of meeting someone, and I know you said that you didn't have that much experience in online dating, but just as an observer, like, what are there any differences that you can see?
You know what? My opinion on that would be, from what I've seen, is it's you could be more upfront as far as what you're looking for. So because you have a profile, and then you could just write down whatever you want. So I've seen memes, like people post some memes where there'll be a guy that, like, I guess doing pretty good. They're bringing in over 200K a year, and then they'll put that, like, they don't want to raise anybody else's kids. They're looking for a single woman that's kind of making the same type of money they're making. So in those type of situations, I think it filters out anybody that person doesn't think that they're at their level. So with online dating, if you're upfront and you're putting up in your profile what you're looking for, then people know what to expect, or what kind of person you are. So I think in that aspect, it helps out, because it'll keep on people, it'll keep people pushing along, because some people might be turned off by reading something like that, or, hey, maybe somebody will like it, but opposed to meeting somebody like at church or the grocery store, the only way you're gonna find out what they're looking for is by actually approaching them and interacting with them, opposed to online. Then you could just read their profile, and it's there, and you could either swipe left or swipe right.
Well, I thought that was like I thought filter was an interesting but apt term that you just used. I mean, in the way you just explained it.
Yeah.
I mean, it like, it's crazy, like, because I was just telling somebody the other day, like, like, I don't think I would like, just online dating. I think I would rather have something organic, meeting someone and getting to know them, as opposed to something so I guess contrived and arranged. But now that you said it, like meeting somebody, like you just changed my mind. You need to do some promos for an online dating service because I'm serious. Because thinking about it, I was like, well, that knowing what this person is into, what they want, their likes, their dislikes, if they're being honest. Obviously, you got some catfishers out there, but
Yeah.
if they're being honest, then you cut through a whole bunch of waste of dating somebody for 3 months. You know what I mean? To find out something that's a deal breaker about them, you can just keep it moving to the to the next profile, I guess.
Yeah. But you know what? It's funny because like you might want something at one point in your life and then it'll change. Like for instance, myself.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
For myself, me and my wife, originally we didn't want to have any kids. We're cool, like we don't want to have kids. But then, we had a talk one day and that it changed overnight. We decided we wanted to have kids, and less than a year later, we had our 5-year-old here. So things change as you get older. Well, at least for us, because everybody's different. Some people stick to their guns, but definitely kids and whatnot. Some people really don't want to have kids, and I thought I was gonna be one of those people. As far as like having like babies are running around the house, but now we're here 5 years later, and man, our daughter brings us so much joy. Having her running around the house, and having us interact with her, like coloring and playing hide and go seek and running around the house. At times it's draining, but man, it's such a joy. If she wasn't here, the house would just be it would just be me and her, and it would be quiet.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking like that could work in reverse too, the other way, to where if one person decided that they didn't want kids, but then 6 or 7 years into the relationship, the other party that initially decided the same changed their mind. You know what I mean? How that could create conflict. So yeah, people do change and people evolve. So I think that's for me, that's one of the more challenging elements of a relationship. I've always been my growing up. My dad he was married twice, and after that he just dated a lot, and I saw that, and and I saw my mother's relationship with her next partner, and I just kind of soured on relationships, and for all of my teens, I was just running around, just dating everybody.
Yeah.
And for me, that was even up until I got arrested. That was just gonna be my life. I've seen something. The last few years I've been seeing stuff on polyamory, and I was thinking that'd be me, man. Just the same thing I was doing, except for just honesty, because I mean, to me, it's just important to be honest. Whatever you're doing and whatever you want, just put it out there on the table. Give somebody the opportunity to decide.
Mhm. Yeah. You know what? Like with myself and with kids, you were speaking about your father. In my case, my father had kids spread across the whole United States. I think he had a total of 18 kids, and I didn't want to be like that, because you got kids that are old and that are young, and then not everybody knows each other. So I only know my brothers, that and sisters that were born in LA, but I have brothers and sisters that were born in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, Philadelphia, and probably possibly Puerto Rico, and who knows about the ones we don't know, because he was in the military
shout
too.
Out
so
to Philly.
Yeah. so I knew fairly young that I wouldn't want to be one of those people that have that had kids scattered all over the place, and not being connected to them because it's not fair. It's not fair. So um when it was time to have kids, I did have a daughter when I was young, when I was 16, and she just, as a matter of fact, she turned 20, I think 27 yesterday. Yeah, it was 27. So after she was born, like, I was never like interested in trying to get anybody pregnant or getting married and things of that nature. It wasn't until like my to my mid 30s that I felt like I was ready, to make that that commitment and that step.
Yeah, wow, that's yeah. I never wanted to have kids. Like I was the same way. I didn't want to have kids all over the place. I have an adult daughter with my ex, and that's it. I mean, I'm older now, and with my wife and I don't, I don't know about if kids are gonna be in the future, but I mean, I definitely be open to it, but I mean, you got to go out there and get get a ton of coins together before I start thinking about any kids. So we'll see, but yeah, I'm glad that that I didn't have a whole bunch of kids just spread around because yeah, that's it's definitely you're not really thinking about the kids when you're doing that.
Yeah, no, it, Silas, trust me, it is expensive. I was, when my wife told me she was pregnant, I started stacking up on Pampers. Like when she was like a few months pregnant, like I was like on this website that I normally, go to,
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
find deals. And man, I think by the time the baby came around, man, I had about maybe 20 boxes of diapers, all the way from infant all the way up to like, I think, like size 4 or 5. And we were good for about maybe the first 2 years. We didn't have to buy any Pampers. I was clipping coupons for formula. I was doing all kinds of craziness. Like we were like stocked up, like for the first 2 years when it came to formula and Pampers, because that's the most expensive thing. And my wife would look at me like, man, like you're like, there's something wrong with you, like like why, like we had a room in which is like stacked up with all kinds of stuff. And by the time the her baby shower came around, people were so happy that we were gonna have a kid that the whole room was just filled up with, like, we had like 2 strollers, we had a crib, we had like 2 eating chairs. It was just banana, Silas. Like I couldn't believe it. I just, with the stuff the coupon clipping I was doing, and the charity, or the generosity of everybody, and during the baby shower, man, we were truly blessed.
Man, that's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. With regards to to the interactions between men and women, right? I mean, obviously, there's a whole. I've been in, like I said, I've been in here over over 20 years, and it's the whole landscape out there is it's a brave new world out there.
Yeah.
um, but just like the culture, I've seen from a distance. Obviously the only barometer that I have is culture. Movies, music, entertainment, or television. But it just seems like the whole culture between men and women have shifted. It seems like the men have become a lot more feminine, and the women the women have become a lot more masculine, which is kind of odd to view from a distance.
Yeah, I
You
can.
got any thoughts on that?
Uh, I mean, it's happening because you see it out, you see it out there. Like I just trip out on it. Like I watch TV. We watch a lot of TV, or even out and about. Like you see dudes walking around with mascara, with nails. I'm like, what? I mean, it's cool. I mean, hey, if that floats your boat, go by all means. But it does leave me scratching my head. You know, uh, uh, um, I mean, I don't know what's causing this turn, of the roles being reversed, but I find it odd. I mean, that's the only word that I think I could use is odd. It's strange. Um,
And my cousin and I, we talk about it all the time, and he's, you know, he's somebody else that another reference point that I have, you know, for everything that's going on out there, and he was telling me, like, you know, how we were as teenagers, you know, like that's how women are now, and I was like, really, like, you know, it's a trip, you know, it just seems like there's the pendulum has swung a little bit too far. I mean, in my opinion, just it's been interesting to watch this from, you know, from a bird's eye view.
yeah, man. It's a trip. You know, when you come home, Silas, just be ready. You know, just be ready to put your blinders on, cause it's a whole different world out here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do it in here, but I already know that I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna have to get a CNI dog out there.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
You're probably gonna need a walking stick, Silas.
Yeah, for real. Out there like Daredevil tapping with a stick, like, man, I'm just trying to get from point A to point B, man. Don't mind me, whatever you're doing, as you were. I'm just passing through.
And you know what? I got, you know, I don't think I mentioned this to you before, but when we're up in Canada, I seen this lady smoking crack. All right, and she was blind, Silas. She had a walking stick, and the walking sticks up, you know, or like here in the United States, the walking sticks are red and white. They have red and white like stripes on them. Over there in Canada, they're all orange. The walking sticks. So I found that those two things I found odd, which they amazed me. A person smoking crack that was blind, and I still can't get over that. You know, that whole experience up in Canada really it was really eye opening. You know, because I'm thinking I'm going up north. You know, to our northern neighbors, and man, it just goes to show that the you know, the drug epidemic problem, you know, it's everywhere. You know, it doesn't stop at the border. It keeps on going. Hey, and saludos to LBCK 15, and then let me see here. And Marlene writes,
This call is now being recorded. Global Telling. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
That's gotta stop.
Silas Johnson.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Sentinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello, Silas.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw a blind woman, smoking crack. Not only that, she had the biggest crack pipe I've ever seen in my life. It was, I would say, like a good 6 inches long, Silas.
So I thought you were gonna say you were surprised she was smoking crack, because that's essentially like a throwback now in today's drug culture.
I was amazed at the crack size she had, the crack pipe she had.
That's like a throwback, like, and then like to have an orange, a loud orange walking stick is kind of like it's not being discreet at all.
You know what?
So,
I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna try to send you that video. Hopefully, it'll fall under the ADA, and they allow it through the filtering system, because she can't see what she's smoking, and somehow it'll slip through the cracks. But hopefully, and then you can show everybody you can show everybody the biggest crack pipe you've ever seen in your life.
That won't make it. Any drug use, babe, that will not make it. Yeah, that if you can catch her before, if you got a clip of her before, if she puts the pookie down for a sec, maybe it'll make it.
You know what? Marlene just put a message on here.
I doubt. Yeah.
Marlene put a message on here right now. She says, "Women raising soft sons, that's gotta stop." What's your take on that, right there, Silas?
Like I totally agree. Like, I mean, I think there's a line, right? I do think there's a line. I think like like my brother and I, we were raised, my grandfather and my dad, they were, my grandfather was a World War II veteran. He was in the Navy. My dad, he drove for RTD and MTA for almost 3 decades. And my dad wasn't like a real, like a, like a touchy-feely, I love you, type, dad. My dad was a real manly man, and I think that translated to us. I do think that there would have been advantages to someone who to us as men. I think we can. I don't think there's anything wrong with being in touch with your feelings. I mean, that said, I mean that you gotta. We have something in our class. A term we like to use. We call it trauma dumping. Like, everybody don't care about what you got going on. So like you gotta have some kind of social awareness, there are conversations that I have with my brother that I'm not gonna have with just, the general public or online or whatever. I think that men have a higher level of testosterone, and our bodies are the muscle in our body is massed differently, and it's for a reason. It's just biology. It's just nature. The men were, the hunters, and back to prehistoric days. So, I mean, there's something that the spirit of that should never be lost in men. I think that as men, we have a responsibility to evolve and to be emotionally intelligent, and and to be, because I mean, you can't be, I think there's a line, I mean, you got to be soft enough to raise your daughter, you know what I mean? You got to be empathetic enough, and and to be able to deal with her emotionally, and your wife, and your sisters, your mother, and I mean, there's a limit to how hard you should be. You shouldn't be, you shouldn't be freaking Ice Cube's version in NWA, when you're dealing with your wife. But I think there's a balance that we can have without the machismo. You know what I mean? It's not. For me, it's not a choice between machismo and Mandilon. You know what I mean?
You know what? I saw a video maybe like a year or two ago, where some guy was talking about like playing with your daughters and whatnot. Like playing like tea and tea time, and like painting nails, and having your daughters put makeup on you if you're a male. And he was like, man, that's gotta stop. Like, you gotta tell your kids no, like your children, that you're not gonna tolerate those type of things. Not in those words, not in those exact words. I'm kind of paraphrasing whatever I recall, but I looked at it and
Right.
I was like, man, whatever, like for me, if my daughter wants to paint my nails, hey, go for it, like handle, all gas, and no, all gas, no brakes over here, I'll just wipe it off, like it's not permanent, so to me it's not a big deal. But if my wife, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's what I mean about like knowing the line. That's obviously that's somebody who isn't secure within himself and feels like this is some kind of affront or an attack on his manhood. If I had a daughter that was 5 or 6, and I mean, we having tea parties, she's doing whatever the hell she wants. You know, if she wants to get her mom's makeup and paint my face ridiculous, she's gonna do it. That's my kid, and we're gonna have fun. You know what I mean? Like that's that's what I mean in balance. Like now, obviously, I ain't going out in the street with no damn makeup on my face and painted nails.
Yeah.
That's not happening. But you know, I mean, in the spirit of like that's what I meant by being emotionally intelligent and in the spirit of humoring your kid and letting her have a good time. And yeah, of course, you have to have some balance, you know.
Yeah, like let's say I'm at work, at work though, like during Halloween or during certain holidays, they'll bring like these little dumb hats and or like little masks and stuff, and they'll tell me like, hey, put it on, and I'm like, I'm not gonna put that on. You think? Like, they're like, would you do it for your daughter? Yeah, I'll do it for my daughter, but not for you, not for some grown people at work. I don't even like you guys, for me to do something like this. But if my daughter asked me to do it, hey,
exactly,
let's do it. Like that, I don't have a problem with. It's like in pictures. Like I don't tend to smile in pictures that much. But
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
If my daughter wants to do it, then I'm all for it. No, I'm smiling and stuff and like that. I don't have a problem with. Lamar just put it in the comments, says no man should put on makeup.
I mean, I can't say that I disagree.
Yeah.
But like, just in some innocent, like I said, like you playing with your kid or whatever. Now that being said, yeah, I'm talking about your daughter.
Yeah.
Now, if my son wants to come play, no, we're not, no. See, my brother is saying that.
Yeah.
Because I got a little nephew up in that house over there, so he's like, yeah, ain't nobody playing no dress up over here, so. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, there's definitely been a switch. Like I look at all of these youngsters out there with like these tight pants, and like when I was in junior high school, like that, there was no way people were gonna go to school dressed like that.
Yeah.
It's just it's a cultural switch, but I mean, just like my parents' generation, they wore tight bell bottoms and all that stuff, and they thought they were fly, and so I mean, it's all about culture and trends and things change, but yeah, just the behavior of the persona, of what man, the perception of what manhood is now is so fluid. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. You know what? So like back in the 80s and stuff, like these rock band members, they would grow out their hair really long and they would kind of like comb it like I'm not sure what the style would be referred to as, but they would like comb it and like I guess like blow dry it, and they would have kind of like a tiger look. That's the other thing I could compare it to, and a lot of those dudes would put.
Oh, you talking about like big hair?
Yeah, big hair.
Big hair.
Yeah, like the rock stars, like what is it?
Right.
Like Guns N' Roses and those types, and they would put like makeup on or eyelash, eyelash. Or what is it? Or eye makeup. I don't know the exact terms because I'm not.
Eyeliner.
Yeah, eyeliner. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that. And it seems like that's making a comeback, but it's just not like rock stars that are doing it now. It's everybody. You see rappers and just everybody. Just they're just doing some way out stuff. Like some of the stuff they wear. Like you got dudes walking around with purses and wearing some shades that are women's shades, and it's the cool thing to do.
Yeah, I think back then though, like when I was a kid, I used to look at those dudes and think they were weird, but
Yeah.
being an adult now, I mean, rockers, they get passes.
Yeah.
Rockers get passes because rockers are just the ultimate weirdos, and it's performance art. Like, I understand it's performative,
Yeah.
so like people like Prince,
Yep.
people that were androgynous back then, that kind of pushed the line of, of sexuality.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
As far as the outward appearance, the androgynous appearance, they kind of played around with that. But like I said, it was more performative art. But like you said, now, like, for everybody to just, to just be doing it is just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like the auto tune, right?
Yeah.
When Roger from Zapp was doing it back in the day, like, it was like cutting edge and it was cool, but after T-Pain got it and people just beat it to shit, it's just overconsumption now. It's oversaturating, like, everybody ain't just doing performative art. There's people are just letting their freak flag fly.
Hey, Marlene put Prince, the only man in heels and makeup that can snatch your girl. Laughing out loud.
For real. Hey, no, I was gonna say that, but I'm glad the lady said it first. for every, hey, for real, because growing up, like, we all clown when Prince had the assless chaps, and we all clowned him, right?
Yeah.
In the blouses and all of that. But I mean, if we look at Prince's hit list, I mean, Apollonia, Vanity, I mean, I believe Sheila E., Sheena Easton, you know what I mean? I mean, hell, he gave Carmen Electra her name, and I think she gave him something for it. I mean, Prince was, I'm just saying, I think, Prince had an extensive portfolio, so, I mean, for a lot of those rockers, it worked.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
So I'm not mad at that. Art is art. I'm just looking at the overall feminization of men now, and I have a kind of a controversial view on I guess you would say feminists who support this, the feminization of men, but yeah, that's gonna time out, so I probably just got myself out of some trouble right now.
Say by the bell. Yeah, we got about 10 seconds. And Marlene puts must be in the food why these new generations are switching up roles and relationships.
Hey. We're gonna let Marlene take all the heat tonight.
Oh man, I definitely enjoy speaking with Silas. Always bringing something different, different to the table, and man, I could definitely sit down and talk to him for hours, and we don't even have to talk about prison, which is the cool thing about it. He's in prison. He eats, sleeps, and uses the restroom in prison.
This call is now being recorded.
Global Talent. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Silas Johnson.
un individuo encarcelado en de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Talent.
Hello, Silas.
Okay, I'm back.
Yep. Hey, you know what? Like right now, when I was waiting to be reconnected with you, I was making a comment that is I think it's pretty cool that you're in prison. Well, not cool that you're in prison, but that you're there and we could have conversations that have nothing to do with prison. Because there's other things going on in the world or in prison that are not like your typical prison topics. Like you mentioned earlier on. You guys are talking about like relationships and whatnot in the yard, and that's pretty cool. That you're living the prison experience, but prison doesn't consume your life and your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, a majority of the conversations that go on here are prison related, because everybody's so in entrenched in an effort to escape this place mentally, and so yeah, like I mean, we talk about, I mean, sports is obviously heavy, you're in a man's prison, but I mean, religion, politics, celebrities, like relationships and family. And, yeah, so yeah, I mean, we're real heavy into relationships and talks about it, and not just the in the context of us having relationships with our partners out there in society, but just relationships as a whole, and what they look like. Because I mean, ultimately the goal is to reintegrate back into society, and you need to have your finger on the pulse of what's happening out there. You just can't go out there and just be oblivious to everything that's going on before you get there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. And I was just thinking right now, man, I would love to do a sports one, but man, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like the worst person you could talk to about sports because I don't know anything. But I'm pretty sure you got some people. I'm pretty sure Jesse and David, they love sports. Maybe we should do a sports segment one of these days.
Yeah, just no Cowboy fans allowed. We can do that. Yeah, that'd be great. Nobody. We don't use the C word, and yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
no, but that would be pretty cool, man. Just yeah, it's. I mean, there's you got people. You have people with extensive, knowledge about sports in here, and that would be pretty cool. I mean, it's. I mean, when the playoffs, obviously the playoffs in here for football or baseball or basketball, like everybody is tuning in. Like, I mean, I thought something that was pretty interesting and cool this past month with March Madness is the all of the attention that the women's game got. This tournament. Like, either just on a personal note, like I haven't watched one game of the men's tournament, and I've watched probably 6 of the women's games. I mean, the men's tournament is just like, to me, it's just ho hum, and the women. I think the women are more competitive than the men now, in at least in college basketball. And I was talking to somebody, and in the men's game, you have players that, if they don't go straight out, I mean, it's rare you have players jump straight from high school like LeBron James or Sean Kemp now, but, you have players that'll go to college, for 1 year or 2 years, and they'll go right to the NBA. And so these teams.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
The powerhouse, schools and the brands like North Carolina, Duke, and all of these teams, you're really just watching the logo, because although they have good players and they're doing recruiting, the players that they get are they're one and done, or they're there for 2 years, because they're just trying to just go get their shine on at a big program and go to the NBA. So the teams that, I think was it Kentucky, that got beat by Oakland I think it's Oakland of like Michigan or somewhere. It's not Oakland, California. It's a small school. But that upset wasn't surprising to me because here you have these kids at Oakland where, they've been together possibly 4 and maybe some 5-year seniors, so where they've had time to gel as a unit, to where you have a team like Kentucky who's a big brand, but you got all these kids, maybe transfer from the transfer portal or just trying to go there for a year or two and go to the NBA. So they haven't built the continuity as a unit. So it's no wonder a team that's from a lesser program can come in there, with that's an actual team in every sense of the word and shock some of these bigger programs. Where in the women's game, you have that continuity. The women ain't going to college for 1 year and going to the WNBA. They're staying there and they're developing these teams. And so you're getting to see some of these great rivalries that you don't see in men's college basketball.
Man, I wish I knew what to say about that, Silas, but I'm totally lost when it comes to any type of sports, boxing, car racing, none of that. I don't know nothing about none of that stuff. Man, I'll tend, like if there's like a game going on or the championship or whatever, people getting together to cheer for the team, I'll go. But man, I'm just totally lost. Sometimes when I'm walking around, and this happens like normally when we're traveling around, I'll have like a Laker hat or a Laker sweater on, and somebody will come up to me like, do you know the score? Hell nah, I just got off of playing, and then to top it off, I'm not into sports like that. And my wife will start laughing, like, man, like, why do people always come up to you and start asking you about sports? I'm like, I don't know. I guess like all the sports gear that I wear, but I'm just representing the city,
Yeah, I'm a sports appeal to me for because I'm a history buff. So, and in sports, even though it's athletics, it's storytelling. It's about stories. Whether you're talking about the rivalries between Magic and Bird, or the Pistons and the Bulls, or all of it is essentially storytelling. Stories are actually being written. It's just instead of an oral history, it's being written through actual competition. So it's pretty cool to see like just the history and the stories that develop from these people, and because a lot of times they come from impoverished communities like ours.
Yeah. No, they definitely do. And you know what, man, when a lot of athletes get in problems and stuff, man, it sucks because they give our communities a bad name, because they come from these places, they get drunk, they crash a car, and man, it's all bad. It doesn't help us look good, right? If that makes sense.
Well, I've done my fair share of making the minority community look bad myself. So yeah. I'm definitely nobody to throw stones. But yeah, I do agree that, I mean, I agree. On one hand, I absolutely agree. On another hand, like, it's really, really difficult for somebody to hold the weight of expectations of a whole community on their shoulders and be the representative. I'm in a class of there's 13 of us in my class, and I'm the only person of African descent in there. I'm the only black, and so when I walk in there with 12 Mexicans and no whites, and I'm the only, no Asian others, and I'm the only black, it's like I am the representation of higher learning for blacks here.
Yeah.
At least at the bachelor degree level. And I understand that I have that responsibility, and I perform like that. But I also think it's a little bit unfair to look at me because I'm not a representation of all blacks. You know what I mean? So it's kind of it's fair. It's a good responsibility to have, you know, but everybody isn't cut out for it. You know, I'll say that.
Let me ask you, Silas. So, um, I, w- I don't even know how to phrase this correctly, but are you like the only black person there that's interested in higher learning?
Mm, I'm not. The numerics are the numerics are there are more Hispanics here.
Okay.
So the blacks are fewer, but there's some AA students that are who will graduate this semester who will be matriculating into the bachelor's degree program. There were a couple more, but they transferred to other prisons or went home. So it just worked out that I ended up being the only one here.
Oh, okay. And then so in general, in the prison, just like numbers, is the majority there they're Hispanic?
Absolutely, staff and residents.
Oh, okay. Huh. So,
Absolutely, it's
wh-
not even close.
like how many blanks do you think are there in Centinela on your yard?
Uh, I'd definitely say less than 100. Less than 100.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you guys are definitely
I'd say I'd say 70,
70?
70, 80,
Yeah.
70, 80.
Wow.
I mean, it's not a lot.
Yeah, yeah. And then
I mean, when I moved into this building, there were like 8 blacks in the whole building, upstairs and downstairs.
and do you so what like the like your friends or the people they hang around with, then because obviously I mean, okay, you're in a community within a community because you're separate from whatever's happening, out
Esta
there.
llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
You're more focused into learning and bettering yourself, so that your community is
Right.
even small. Yeah.
Hold hold that thought.
Yeah.
Hold that thought, because it's
Oh,
11:59
okay.
and the system's gonna reset.
Okay, Silas.
Yeah. So hold on to that question.
Okay, I'll try. I can't guarantee that, but I'll try.
All right. Okay.
All right. All right. So for those of you that are tuning in right now, every night at 12 p.m. when the clock strikes midnight, you're not gonna turn into a toad, but and you're definitely not Cinderella. But the GTL system, the tablet, I guess it does like a cycle or a reboot, so it kicks everybody off of the system. So right before that happened, Silas was gonna I guess I don't know if he turns off his tablet or if he reboots it or exactly what he does, but there'll be a period, I guess maybe like 2-3 minutes where he can't be on a call, and once the system's ready to go, then he'll go ahead and call us back, and we'll go ahead and continue with the conversation. And if this is like the first time that you noticed, hey James, did you get my? Yeah, you know what? I did. As a matter of fact, I just responded to you like maybe like about maybe like 20 minutes ago. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely did get your message, and man, hey, TikTok's definitely been a wild ride. It's been a wild ride for me. I posted up one of Joe's videos a few days ago. I think maybe like 3 days ago. Was it? I think Sunday. Yeah, I think it was Sunday night. Yeah, and man, like it's definitely hitting numbers. I think I had only posted maybe like six or seven videos before that, and this video is definitely hitting. I think I had like about 11 followers 3 days ago, and I think we just hit 600. So I'm definitely excited because hopefully if this video keeps on doing the numbers the way it does, then hopefully we'll be hitting 1,000 subscribers, and I'll be doing a simultaneous lives on YouTube and on TikTok. So it's definitely gonna open up some more doors for me, I think, hopefully. and and I see you got more subscribers on YouTube too. Yeah, I got a yeah. It's definitely been it's they're not going down. They're going a little bit up, which is also exciting. Joe, I was talking to Joe today, and he actually told me that that somebody recognized him off of the YouTube. I'm not the YouTube, off of the TikTok video. He was out, and I'm not exactly sure where he was at, but somebody came up to him and he was like, "Hey, I think I know you." And he had asked him if he was in if he was in prison. I don't recall what prison and during what years, but Joe was like, "Nah, that he had just left that he didn't get to that prison till after whatever year he had said." And the guy was thinking, and then he was like, "Oh, I just saw you on TikTok. You just got released, huh?" And Joe was like, "Yeah." So that was funny. He texted me as soon as that he had that experience, and then he called me up, and then we were talking about it, and um he we had a little a nice little chuck over it, and Marlene put let me see, beware, they will always ask, are you active on SAY? Seems to be the obsession. You know what, we were talking about that, and he was telling me that overall where he's at right now, everybody's interacting with everybody. It doesn't seem like it's an issue. Like, it seems like I'm not sure if like they're lifers that got out and that are living there, but it doesn't seem like anybody's tripping or over that. I think a lot of those people that have come out, whether they're from the main line or from SNY, they're just happy to be out, and like they put that a lot of stuff behind them, and they're just ready to move on with their lives, because a lot of these guys, they went in as youth offenders. They've been in there 20, 30 years, and there was a point in time where they didn't think that they were gonna ever get out. They didn't see a light at the end of the tunnel, and now that they're out, they're not trying to go back. A lot of these, everybody that's there, they're on parole, and if they're lifers and they violate that parole, their sentence is gonna be reinstated. So I don't think the majority of where everybody's at in their life, I don't think that that they're willing to throw that away. But there might be one or two people in there. You know what I mean? On TikTok. TikTok live. Oh, okay. I see.
This call is now being recorded.
Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Silas Johnson.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Tel Link.
Hello, Silas.
Hello.
All right. So, I kind of remember what I was asking you. So it was just like about the numbers, how the numbers were looking at, where you're located. But I think where I was getting to was that, your numbers there are obviously small, and then, but it's even smaller in your case just because, you're looking for something else. You're into education and bettering yourself. So I'm sure the numbers, of blacks, like you said, you're the only one in your class. So in your groups, is there any other blacks that associate with you guys?
Well, it depends. Like, okay, we have CGA. We have a voluntary CGA over the weekends at Night Yard, whichever Night Yard it falls on, Saturday or Sunday. And the most that I've counted out there at the CGA is 17 one night. And it's usually around 13, 14 of us. I'm the only black there. The rest they're all Mexican. I'm the only black there. Now, in groups to where, there's a CGA that the institution has, and Psalms actually puts plugs the people in the groups, and there are, I think, one, two, three. So there are four of us in there. There are three other blacks in there with me. So, but yeah, I mean, to your point, I find that in the spaces that I operate in, they're mostly Hispanic because the number of blacks on this yard who are actually doing the same thing that I'm doing. There's a low number of blacks, but then when like you said, when you factor in, who's, on an educational path, who's on a rehabilitative path, who's, that lowers the...
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely, and I've developed the character and personality now to where, when I was younger, I was looking to be accepted. I wanted to be cool and to fit in and to belong. But, I really don't have a desire to do any of that anymore. So, my only desire is to do what's good for me, what's good for my family and for my freedom and for my career. So I don't care if there's a bunch of guys with swastikas tattooed all on their head. If they've changed their lives and, and they're looking to go in a different direction, my main thing is just, being around people who are good for me,
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one right there, 100%. Yeah, I'm definitely not looking, to be accepted. I just, want to do, what I feel is right, and as long as my wife and my household is fine with it, that's all I need at this point in my life.
Yeah, I'm not willing to, to jeopardize my future, to hang out with somebody that's doing something, that I know is gonna put me at risk, just because they're black, like that's nonsensical, I'm gonna hang around somebody who, and more so, I mean, I'm gonna have to live with people in society. I'm gonna have to work with people in society, and if I just get caught up on just my own ethnic identity and I'm gonna miss the people that I identify with. Jesse is one of the people that I'm closest with here on the yard, and in general population, we wouldn't have had the opportunity to build the friendship that we've had here. There are a lot of other, Joe and I have had a lot of conversations, and, so it's more about a meeting of the minds and where you are as people, as opposed to, saying, this person is, looks like this, or this person's culture is this, so, so we don't deal with him, I mean, and that's gonna cut you off from health, from happiness, from career opportunities, and just being able to navigate this world.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And right now that you mentioned Joe, I was thinking about a story he had mentioned to me a while back when we were on a video visit. He was talking to me about a guy that there was a black guy there that was acting like, or he I guess he could relate more with Hispanics more than with blacks, and then there was a Hispanic that could relate more than more with the black culture than the Hispanic culture, and I guess they ended up getting into some type of altercation because the Hispanic guy wouldn't stop messing with the black guy, and it sucks because a lot of these people that are there, they just want to go home. People just want to be left alone, and you know, people sometimes they can't mind their business. Just like if you don't have something positive to say, you should just don't say anything. If you don't understand it, you don't have to understand it. As long as that person is fine with it, just let it be.
Exactly. Like it's just like, I mean, you said it perfectly. I mean, everything is not for somebody to understand. You know, it's you know, it's not supposed. Everything is not supposed to. It's not supposed to agree with everything. You know that somebody thinks or says or does. That, you know, if I'm of the mind, if nobody's harming anybody, making somebody do something against their will, you know, and I count manipulating or coercion is doing something against their will, you know, then hey, play ball, you know.
Yeah. You know what? Marlene just put a message on here, and he said you should put up a photo when they were young, when they got busted, and a current one. Would you happen to have any pictures of when you were young, Silas? Can we get a young Silas a mugshot or?
I have like, wow, not a young mugshot. I don't think I have any like first coming into the system. Like I have like some young shots. I got like a 3-year-old in the jungles.
Oh. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man, yeah.
I got young photos.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna try to do it tonight. I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna reach out to the CDCR, and I'm gonna try to ask for like your old, like if they could provide me with your old mugshots. I know I could get the current ones, but I'm gonna check if I could get some older ones. You know, I did that with Joe. I did like at the beginning of the month in March. I emailed. There's like this email where you could, or no, actually no, it wasn't an email. It was like this page where you could request information like that, and it took about 2 weeks for them to provide me Joe's picture. And finally, when I got the picture, I had totally forgot that I had put in that request, and I got the picture, and I was telling my wife, I was like, hey, they sent me Joe's mugshot. And I was like, come check it out. So I'm over here, you know, turning on the laptop, logging in and checking it out, and I look at the picture, and I was like, this isn't Joe. They sent me the wrong person's picture. And then
get one if you can request one. If you can request it by year, get June 2013.
June 2013.
Like that's right when I got released from Cork and Shoot.
Okay.
I did 5.5 years in Cork and Shoot, and I got released. And that was the craziest picture I ever took.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll put that in. And Lamar just put a message on here that he has pictures when you were 17.
Man, yeah, he digging in the crates. Yeah.
Hey, so with Joe's picture, I was like, I told my wife, this isn't Joe. And my wife comes over and she was like, are you sure? And I was like, nah, that does not look like the Joe I know. And then but then I looked at the you know, because in the bottom it has your CDCR number, and then it has the date when it was taken. And then I'm looking, I was like, what? It is his CDCR number. And then I'm looking, I was like, oh shit, it is Joe. And I was asking him, I was like, hey, I got your picture, but it don't look like you. He was like, yeah. He was like, man, that was 2 days of no sleeping, being transported across the state. You know, that's what I was like. He was like, man, he had definitely gone through it, you know, on that 2-day transportation, because it definitely wasn't fun for him.
Yeah, they gotta do it. I'm telling you, those that's how they get you. And yeah, come in front of here and take a picture, like even all day long on the bus, like with a paper jumpsuit on.
Oh yeah. Oh no, you know what? He didn't have a paper jumpsuit. He had it looked like it was red. Whatever he was wearing was red. I don't know if it was like one of those.
Paper.
Oh, it is paper. Oh, okay.
That's paper. That's paper.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Paper. You move the wrong way, you're gonna have some assless chaps like Prince.
Oh yeah, definitely don't want that in prison. Oh, imagine somebody spilled some juice on you or some water. That thing will probably dissolve.
Yeah, for real. It has a zipper on it, but I don't know why, because that shit is probably biodegradable.
Man, that's hilarious, Silas. Hey, so right now, when are you
Yeah.
gonna get back to school? Because right now you're in a break right now, right? Is it spring break?
No spring break for us.
Oh, okay.
No spring break for us. No, that's my alma mater. You got to be in junior college to get spring break. And here we nah, ain't no breaks, no breaks. We are pedal to the metal, and I'm glad too.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause,
yeah.
we're breezing through it, so we powering through. So yeah, it's definitely it's cool. I love the environment. I'd go seven nights a week if it get us there closer.
Yeah, yeah. And let me ask you, right now, like where you're at in your life right now, do you feel like time in prison passes faster now? With with all your education and everything that you're involved in.
No, it is going dreadfully slow now. I think now, because I think it's just mentally though. I think the time is moving by the same. It's just, I mean, obviously time don't change, but I think the time for me is moving by slower because I understand that I'm at the end of my tenure here, and so it's like everything feels like it's taking a long time. The semesters, time to get to a visit. I got a visit coming up and then this month, and it feels like that's taking a long time. I'm waiting for my domestic partnership, so my wife and I can get our family visits. I feel like that's taking a long. It's just she always she Annie is always on me all the time, telling me I need to be more patient. And I mean, obviously it hasn't. Her advice hasn't worked, but I mean I do because I'm just like I want everything right now. You would think I was like a general.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
Yeah, you'd think I was one of these, youngsters because I want instant gratification.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Man, they got us with a double whammy.
For real. Yeah, yeah, I think it's just because I'm at I'm nearing what I believe to be the end of this, so I just think it's just, it when I came in here, it was just I didn't really have any responsibility, and now that I do, and I think it's a multitude of different factors.
Yeah. Do you wanna call back right now? We'll do one more, and then after this one, we'll call it a night. And I got a question from Scorpio Rising.
Okay.
All right. All right. So right now, Silas should be calling back, and we'll be reconnecting. And we got one more. We got one more for the night. And Marlene, so okay, so back to this thing from TikTok. So what you're telling me is that if I do a TikTok live, people will come in and ask if this is GP or SNY. Am I understanding this correctly? Um, I don't know what I would answer. I mean, I've never been to prison. What should I say?
This call is now being
Global
recorded.
Talent. Usted tiene una llamada prepagada de
Silas Johnson.
un individuo encarcelado de la prisión estatal de Centinela, California. Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. Para aceptar esta llamada, diga o oprima ahora el 5. Gracias por utilizar Global Talent.
Hello, Silas.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
Scorpio Rising is asking, Silas, do you know by chance Kevin Cooper?
Kevin Cooper. No, I don't know a Kevin Cooper.
All right.
I don't know a Kevin Cooper.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering that. So, like maybe like 2 phone calls ago when we got disconnected, or it was during that period when at midnight when when the system was rebooting or updating or whatever the system does. Uh, uh, I was mentioning
Okay.
to Marlene that I can't wait to hit that that 1,000 subscriber mark on TikTok, so I could start doing lives. I could start doing simultaneous lives on YouTube and TikTok. And then she was asking me
Right.
oh, and then she was just giving me the heads up. She was like, just that when you do those lives on TikTok, people will come in and ask you like if you're SNY or GP. And I was like, well, shit, I wouldn't know what to answer. I mean, well, what do I say? I've never been to prison. I'm not active or GP. So what do I do?
I guess you would. I don't. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I guess.
I don't know, like that.
I guess you would tell him you're undecided. I guess you tell him you're undecided.
Or maybe I'll say I'm unactivated because I was never active, so unactivated. So I never even started the journey. Yup. Oh no! Oh, so she's saying they're gonna ask if the person you're interviewing is mainline or SNY. All right. Well, thanks for the heads up.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah. That answer that I don't have to answer the question anymore. So Scorpion Rising, she has another question. She said that's a good question to ask Silas. What do you just ask about the person questioning GP or SNY?
Can you repeat that?
Okay, so she writes, that's a good question to ask Silas. What you just asked about the person questioning GP and SNY. I guess she's asking like what
I'm not sure I understand.
I'm thinking she's asking.
Am I JP or SNY?
No. Like what? Like I guess how you would answer the question.
Oh, how I would answer it? Oh,
Yeah.
I would say that I'm on Delta Yard and it's an SNY yard. I did 20 years in general population and 7 years of shoe time and wrapped up in gangland culture and violence and just destructive BS. And in 2020, I made the decision that that I wanted to pursue my education. I wanted to pursue my goals as an artist, as an author, as a writer, and being a gang member didn't fit with that anymore. And so I made the decision to leave all of that behind and come to an SNY yard and focus on myself and my own goals and dreams and ambitions, as opposed to some nonsensical chaos that's never going to end.
And then she actually she put that I guess you had answered it already before I read the question, so you were ahead of the game on that one, Silas.
Oh, okay.
You answered it beforehand, so definitely. Marlene just put on here. She says that there's this one fool that says I guess he has a TikTok account and he puts that he's active and attractive, laughing my ass off. He busts me up. So she's telling me that I should make up with one. I don't know. I gotta come up with a cool saying to get people to, break down the boundaries over here.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that there's a lot of back and forth over over who's where and who's who and who's what. And I mean, I have no interest in entertaining any of that. Like, I have no problem having a conversation, or telling my story, But as far as the who's who and who's who's this and who's that, I mean, it really at the end of the day, it doesn't amount to anything. I mean, I've put in more work over there on the main line, and so-called put in work, than 90% of the people over there, and it didn't get me a dime. Like, I have no 401k to show for it. Like, there's no, I didn't get any, vacation times, days out of prison. I didn't get any closer to my freedom. Only thing I did was, hurt more people, and so, I mean, I guess it's all about perspective. For me, when you walk into your manhood, you doing things that are counterproductive to you achieving ultimate happiness in this life is unacceptable.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
And everybody matures in their own time, and everybody has to find their own way.
You know what? When my buddy was still on the main line, I had mentioned to him once. I was like, you know what? You should think about it like this. Yeah, I mean, like, your prison stories are cool and everything, and all the work you put in. But at the end of the day, when you come home, you can't use it for anything. It's not like you go to the bank and ask the bank manager, like, hey, can I get a loan? I was in prison and I was putting in all this work. It's not gonna help. It's not gonna benefit you. Like, any of that talk or any of that stuff that you did is, at the end of the day, it's not gonna put any money in your pocket. That's all.
Nobody cares.
Yup. It's like Al Bundy. Like when I used to watch Married with Children, he was always talking about that touchdown in high school. Nobody cares about that. They cared in the moment. Yep.
It's over with. That's done. Yeah, that's a moment in time that will never be relived or never come back. Like, you go to the bank and you ask for a loan. You're not gonna put 5-star general on Salinas Valley, state prison level 4 C yard. They don't. Nobody cares. Like, nobody gives a shit. Like, and I don't mean to disparage anybody that's really drinking the Kool-Aid and true believers and all of that stuff. Because I was for a long time too. But the bottom line is that, I mean, being a gang member is not a marketable skill. It's just not.
And Scorpio Rising puts, people need to see the good side and positive side of SNY. That's it. Mostly programming and being not active in anything other than yourself and programming.
Yeah, I think that's for me. Like I said, I did 20 years over there, and I'm kicking myself in the ass that I didn't leave from over there 10 years early.
Esta llamada y su número de teléfono será controlada y grabada.
Yeah, I'd probably be home about 5 years ago. So for me, it's like she said, like, this is a beautiful opportunity for me. And it's a pathway home, and I'm able to go to school. I mean, I graduated a community college over here. I got my AA from Imperial Valley College. I published my book over here. I'm almost a year into the bachelor's degree program here. I've gotten a vocational trade, small engine repair. I mean, and I don't think I would have been able to do that without being away from all of the distractions, because, I mean, eventually something was going to call for me to go to the hole or go for, something was going to happen, or somebody else was going to owe somebody some money and a riot happened. Just, over here, I don't have to worry about any of that. The only thing I need to concern myself with is my marriage, my homework, and my self-help. That's it.
And that's the way it should be. And there's plenty of people that will be willing, more than happy to take up your spot. once you left. So it's not like like you, it doesn't matter, like for those, for that person, for those that want to remain over there, that's fine, and for those that want to leave, then that's fine too, because you're both sides are doing what they want.
Oh yeah, they believe me, James. They ain't missing me over there.
Yeah.
They not missing me over there, man. They talked about me leaving for a couple of days, and after that, it was business as usual.
Yeah.
But sadly, the same thing is going to happen to somebody that dies over there. They'll talk about them for a couple of days, and then it's business as usual. Somebody goes to the hole, or gets a life sentence for committing violence. They'll, oh yeah, he was down. That's the only thing reward you're gonna get is a couple conversations. Hey, yeah, he was down, man, and then that's it.
Attaboy. Right? You get a pat on the back.
We need you to take this. We need you for something else, though.
Man.
We know you just gave up your freedom, but we need you for something else.
Well, Silas, man, I'm definitely, I'm happy. We met, and we made this connection. And hopefully
absolutely likewise.
Your journey influences somebody to better themselves, or even not even get to that point where they have to make a decision like that. They can make that decision when they're on the street, and before they go to county jail and prison, or subject themselves to that type of lifestyle.
Absolutely. Shit. You better believe, after life paroling from a life sentence, I'm gonna be S&Y on the streets too. I'm S&Y. Shit. I'm S&Y. Everywhere. At work, I'm S&Y.
Hey, I might need to get some baseball caps made. SNY, 100% SNY.
For real. Man.
Yeah.
Talk to me about nothing. I don't want to hear it. That's a nice handle, by the way, Scorpio rising. I'm a Scorpio myself, so I'm kind of partial. I like the handle.
And she's asking one other. She wants to know: are you currently on a non-designated yard or a programming yard?
I guess the level ones being here would technically make it non-designated. The level ones are non-designated, but the level threes here are all S&Y.
You know what? I recently found out about that. That one definitely left me scratching my head.
Le queda un restante de 60 segundos.
All right, we got
Hello?
Yeah, they just hit us with the 1 minute mark. If you want to go ahead and take that time to give out your shout outs before we get cut off.
All right. I definitely want to give a shout out to my brother, to Marlene, Scorpio Rising. Thank you for hanging out with us. And James, I always want to give you thanks, man, and for creating this platform for us. And thank all of you guys, the viewers, for tuning in to the Late Night Hype, and we'll be back soon.
All right, and like I said around here, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we are out. Buenas noches.
Peace.